Okay, so fun America fact, guys. Producing more than 380,000 metric tons a year of corn, America is the world's #1 producer of corn. Wow, can you believe that? And so, give it up for corn, everyone.
Corn!
And so on that note, I would like to invite first-year fiction Ph.D. to the stage, Joe Milan Jr.
Hi, everyone. Shortly before I got into the program, I was selected as one of 19 writers to be part of the cult writers of Asia and the diaspora. And it's really cool. This is the first time in my life that I've been able to do a reading with a book in my hand. And my name's in it. It's not a police report. It's really special. And just a kind of a plug for them, they're like the writer's block in Singapore. It's called Books Actually. And this editor heard of me, read some of my work, met me, and was like, hey, you want to be part of this? And I'm like, oh okay. And here it is. I just got this the other day. And so I thought I could read a little bit for you. And yeah. So this is called Commune's Lonely Hearts Club. Billy grew up on the streets of Manchester and would glass any Southie fairy that dared call him a Manc. On Friday nights, he and his friends stocked the bars for brawls, supported Man City, as any self-respecting citizen of Manchester did, drank cider from the farms, and warmed Stella from the pubs. He named and tattooed his fists assault and battery. When the job down at the Tesco gave him the boot for being late and rarely sober, and his missus did the same for always being rude and never sober, he figured he ought to fly out to Korea and use his degree for something other than a wall hanger. And it was good. He would twirl the kids around for a few hours until they wet themselves, then hand them off to a Korean teacher. Like a repeating playlist, he read aloud scripts to kids. None of the staff bothered him, since they feared using their imperfect college-educated English with Billy. At night, he found other Brits at Commune's Lonely Hearts pub, a dark place with chalked names and old army photos of the white-haired bartender on the walls. And there was a pool table. Billy always got into punch-ups over the pool table. They were exciting punch-ups, with Aussies and Americans and, of course, Koreans. Billy always got the first and last shot. And in the aftermath, Billy would stand tall in the awe of others, gaze at the blood of the victim's lips from assault or battery, and heroically drink a pint of Cass, which tasted a lot like Stella, and the defeated skulked away. Then one hot summer night, after Billy had scratched in the side pocket, a Korean guy, Johnny, took the cue ball and placed it not respectfully behind the breaking line, but like a cock, right behind a pair of balls, both in perfect line, to trail each other into the corner pocket. Oi, Billy shouted over the washing cords of Oasis. Oi, you gotta take your shot behind the line. Bullshit, Johnny said, standing up. Oi, that's British rules. We play British rules here, mate. Where are you? The fuck is that supposed to mean, mate? You're in Korea. Ball in hand, geseki. Ah, that's how it's going to be. Within the breath, it would have taken to say, mate. There was a sudden wailing pain in his stomach and a series of blows informing each rib that a professional was pummeling them. The little guy was quick and didn't know the decorum of a bar fight. No standoff, no shouts, no quick reach for the glass to throw, no questioning of honor, just Billy's final squeaky, mate. Then blows. By the time the shook of it abated, Billy lay gasping for air on the sticky wooden floor. He saw Johnny's kicking feet as the barflies pulled him back. Billy struggled onto one knee and swallowed down vomit. He looked around the bar. All the eyes were on him. Oh, bollocks. Billy said, and staggered out the door without another word. He fought back tears and staggered to the dark corner of a nearby alley. He puked. He cussed. He stared down at assault and battery, disgusted with how neither name fit across their knuckles and had to loop down the sides of his hands. He was a joke. He had never lost a bar fight, and what had just happened wasn't a fight. It was a Gallipoli. And then a new thought rose out of his listing mind. What do real men do when they're down? Do they cower amongst the cardboard boxes in the alleyways of manhood? No, they get back, and there was only one way to get back. He needed to get better. He needed to prepare. Yes, that was it. This bar fighter was a real deal, not another git, but a real fighter who took his mantle, and Billy knew what he had to do. Ho-jun grew up in the countryside outside of Daegu in a house between a rice paddy and a tractor dealership, and he would brick any K-pop city boy who dared call him a bumpkin. He fought on the school rooftops. He bled Samsung Lions blue, drank soju into pojang matchas, and brandished a gangster tiger tattoo stalking down his neck. When his Taekwondo academy fired him for smelling of soju and breaking arms, and his girlfriend's parents saw the tattoo and sent her to Australia to stay with their aunt and uncle, Ho-jun decided to move to the city and teach English. After all, his degree was in English, and it was good. Every night he went to Commune's Lonely Hearts pub with those silly foreigners' names chalked on the walls between a bartender's curling army photos. He played pool, practiced English, and woke the next day to teach at his new job at Harvard English Academy. He taught the textbooks exactly how the teacher's guide told him to, and no one bothered him since the kids thought he was scary and the teachers knew he was. At night, in the bar, he fought over the pool table. Always the pool table. The foreigners were poor players and arrogant, always scratching and declaring rules he had never heard of. The fights differed from the ones he got into in the countryside. Foreigners were bigger, yet slower to fight. And after the scuffle, after Johnny, for that was a name they gave him because remembering a name like Ho-jun was far too hard for their simple minds. After Johnny had beaten the larger foreigner to the ground and left him gasping, the crowd would look upon him with regard and buy him drinks. And as long as nothing got broken, the old bartender with the glass eye didn't seem to mind. It was autumn when grim-faced Billy, the foreigner Ho-jun had beaten on his first night in the city, again walked through the door of the bar. Billy had changed. Months in a foul basement boxing gym had hewed a new body without wiggle or jiggle under a 2 sizes too small polo shirt. He marched over to the pool table where Ho-jun potted another 8-ball and grabbed another loser's cash. Geseki. How much money have you got? Ho-jun called out to Billy. How much are you preparing to give me? Billy said. Let's play, Geseki. It only took 2 shots before Ho-jun plucked the white, ball in hand, and set it right behind a lonely solid on the rail, in line with the corner pocket. He looked over to Billy, smiling. Korean rules, Geseki. That means the man at the table can shoot from wherever he likes. The punch came like thunder. The second, the third, and the fourth pounded like a train thumping gaps in the track. By the time Ho-jun looked up, wheezing, he saw the bartender holding Billy back in a full Nelson. In his short 25 years of life, Ho-jun had never seen anything so quick, so ferocious as that attack. And as he staggered up to his feet, he felt a popping in his chest. Was it a heart attack? Was it shame? All the eyes were on him, and the bar was quiet, save for the third loop of Suicidal on the playlist that he had requested upon walking into the bar. This was his bar. It played his music, and now it wasn't. The eyes told him so. He stumbled out into the street. He flopped into the back of a cab. He went to the hospital. He cried. The doctor said he should press charges, and for the briefest of moments, Ho-jun considered it. The police carting off Billy and deporting him back to America or some other silly country that he's got to be from. But that's what weakling K-pop city boys did. This Billy had returned tougher and badder and meaner than anyone he had ever fought before. No, Ho-jun thought. No, he knew what he had to do. I'm almost out of time, so there's a couple of copies back there. Honest to God.